Hello everyone, welcome to the CCH-History channel. Join us on an exciting journey to 12 of the most remote places on the planet where, despite extreme conditions, people still live. JHARIA, India. This area in the densely populated Indian city of Dhanbad is infamous for its coal mines and the horrifying living conditions in which people exist. For more than 100 years, this region has suffered from underground coal fires, creating an almost uninhabitable environment. The coal fires in JHARIA have been ongoing since 1916, resulting in the constant release of toxic gases. These emissions severely pollute the air, causing asthma, chronic bronchitis, and other respiratory diseases among the people. Due to the constant smoke and soot hanging in the air, visibility in JHARIA is quite poor. In addition to air pollution, underground fires lead to land subsidence, which can suddenly collapse due to the burning coal seams beneath it. This poses a significant danger to residents, as homes and infrastructure can be swallowed by the earth without warning. Many families live in constant fear that their homes will collapse or catch fire. The economic conditions in JHARIA are also very tough. Despite the region being rich in coal, the local population rarely feels its benefits. Most people live in poverty, working for meager wages in dangerous conditions. Child labor is widespread, and many children drop out of school to work in the mines and help their families. Access to clean water and sanitary conditions is limited, which often leads to the spread of diseases. Sources of drinking water are contaminated with mine waste, and the lack of good medical facilities only exacerbates these problems, as residents struggle to obtain adequate medical care. AOGASHIMA, Japan. On this island, right in the crater of a volcano, lies a village where people live. AOGASHIMA is a small volcanic island in the Philippine Sea. Currently, fewer than 200 people live there. It is not precisely known how people came to inhabit this place. However, there are historical records from the 10th to 11th centuries that mention a volcanic eruption on AOGASHIMA and the evacuation of local residents. The last eruption occurred on the island more than 200 years ago. Although the volcano is still considered active and there are risks of a new eruption, people continue to live in this place. The village itself is located directly in the crater of the volcano. The island is quite remote from the main territory of Japan, and it can only be reached by helicopter or boat. PEDY, Australia. In the southern part of Australia, there is a town where people are forced to live underground in the harsh conditions. However, despite this, many move to this place on purpose. In the small town of PEDY, summer temperatures often rise to 40 degrees Celsius. Because of this, locals have come up with an original way of living underground. These dugouts provide natural coolness, protecting people from the scorching sun and heat. Many of these houses are quite comfortable. They are equipped with all modern conveniences, consist of several rooms, are furnished with elegant furniture, and some even have swimming pools. Underground in this town, there are also essential facilities such as shops, restaurants, and even churches. The total population of PEDY is 1,500 people. Why do people live there if they could move to a regular town, you might ask? The fact is that PEDY is known as the world capital of opals, precious stones. The town was founded nearly 100 years ago after opal deposits were discovered there. Since then, this place has attracted people who want to make money mining precious stones. People come here not only from Australia, but also from dozens of other countries around the world. Due to its uniqueness, the small town attracts tourists who come to see the opal mines, mesmerizing landscapes, and the unusual lifestyle of the locals. POPEYE Village, Malta. This village was originally built as a film set for the 1980 movie Popeye, starring Robin Williams. Since then, the place has turned into a popular tourist attraction, and the people working here in the service sector live right in the film's sets. The village consists of a series of colorful wooden buildings designed to resemble a whimsical fishing village from the early 20th century. These structures were erected to create an authentic look. The residents of the village often dress up in costumes of various characters from the cartoon, hold shows, interact with visitors, and participate in various events. Bam, Iran. In this city, people live in houses made of mud. Bam is located in the southeast of Iran and is a very ancient settlement that has existed for over 2,000 years. The city was a major trading center on the famous Silk Road due to its strategic location and rich natural resources. The area of the city known as AOGASHIMA is the main attraction of this place. This ancient citadel occupies an area of 180,000 square meters and was built from so-called adobe, bricks made of clay soil mixed with straw, i.e. dried mud. The AOGASHIMA citadel includes residential quarters, stables, mosques, markets, as well as defensive walls and towers showcasing the advanced architectural and engineering technologies of its time. Once, this place was populated. In 2003, a devastating earthquake struck here, during which the citadel was almost completely destroyed and turned into ruins. However, a few years ago, as a result of reconstruction, the site was restored. SETENIL de las Bodegas, Spain. In this town, the houses are built under enormous overhanging cliffs. SETENIL de las Bodegas is a picturesque village in southern Spain, known for its unique houses built into and beneath massive rock outcrops. These natural formations not only look spectacular, but also have practical advantages. The cliffs provide protection from the summer heat and cold winters. The whitewashed houses blend harmoniously with the rocks, creating an unusual atmosphere. On the most famous street of the town, the houses and shops are located under high stone arches. The history of this place dates back to the times of the Roman Empire. Today, the town primarily serves as a tourist attraction, with around 3,000 residents. Whittier, USA. This is a town where the entire population lives in one large building. Whittier is located in Alaska, a unique isolated city known for its harsh living conditions due to its remote location, severe climate, and unusual construction. Whittier can be accessed through a single tunnel, which serves as both a road and a railway, often closed due to weather conditions. The town, which has about 200 residents, is famous for its unique living situation. Almost the entire population lives in one 14-story building. In addition to apartments, there are a post office, grocery store, school, and city offices. So, Whittier is a town where one can do everything without even leaving the building. This is especially useful considering the harsh climate in the area. The city receives one of the highest levels of precipitation and snowfall in North America. Winters here are long, dark, and cold. Due to heavy snowfall, the city often remains isolated for several days, and bad weather can lead to power outages. ROSHINHA, Brazil. This area of the city of Rio de Janeiro is the largest favela in the country. The term favela refers to Brazilian slums. Rocinha is located on a steep hillside, and according to some reports, nearly 100,000 people live here. Many houses in Rocinha are built from makeshift materials and often lack basic amenities such as plumbing. Because of this, there are unsanitary conditions in many parts of the area. It is difficult to move through the narrow and winding streets, and emergency services find it challenging to reach those in need. During heavy rains, floods and landslides often occur, making living in Rocinha even more dangerous. One of the most pressing problems in the area is the high level of crime and violence. Favelas are often controlled by gangs that engage in fierce confrontations with competing groups and the police. These confrontations frequently end in shootouts, making many areas of Rocinha very dangerous. Innocent residents often find themselves caught in crossfire, and there is an atmosphere of fear and vulnerability in the city. Many crimes remain unsolved, and the police sometimes prefer not to appear in these areas. Residents of Rocinha often face discrimination from society. They find it more challenging to secure good jobs, obtain a decent education, and, as a result, succeed in life. METEORA, Greece. The name METEORA translates to floating in the air, which accurately describes the monasteries located on the tops of high cliffs. These stone pillars rise nearly 400 meters above the surrounding plain. The METEORA monasteries have a rich history dating back to the 14th century, when hermit monks first settled in the area. In search of solitude, they eventually built monastic communities on the tops of inaccessible peaks to protect themselves from turmoil and invasions. At the height of its development, METEORA was home to 24 monasteries. Today, only 6 of them remain active. MIYAKE Island, Japan. The residents of MIYAKE Island are required to carry gas masks at all times. This is because there is a volcano called Oyama on this small Japanese island. Throughout history, it has erupted multiple times, and in the last 50 years alone, there have been 4 eruptions. The eruption in 2000 was so powerful that it led to the evacuation of the entire population of the island. During this eruption, a large amount of toxic poisonous gas was released into the atmosphere, making the island uninhabitable for several years. The 2,500 residents were evacuated, and they were banned from returning to the island. The restrictions were lifted only 4 years later, in 2005. However, residents were allowed to return only under strict safety measures. One of the most unusual aspects of life on MIYAKE is the necessity of always wearing gas masks. Periodically, gas emissions from the volcano continue, leading to rapid deterioration of air quality. Gas masks are needed to protect against harmful vapors. Despite this, the island is famous for its natural beauty. Lush forests, hot springs, and picturesque sea views. MIYAKE attracts many tourists, especially popular among divers and fishermen. LONGYEARBYEN, Norway. This settlement is famous for its residents being prohibited from dying. The town has a population of about 2,500 people and is one of the northernmost settlements in the world, located only 1,500 kilometers from the North Pole. The temperature in LONGYEARBYEN has never risen above 21 degrees Celsius, and this is considered a record. Usually it is significantly colder in summer, and in winter, the temperature often drops to -40 degrees Celsius. There is a polar night lasting for 4 months in this place, meaning that the sun does not appear at all during this time, and people live in complete darkness. One of the main distinguishing features of LONGYEARBYEN is related to the weather conditions. There are strict regulations regarding death and burial. Due to the permafrost, a body buried in the ground will simply not decompose. Therefore, seriously ill residents are sent to the southern part of Norway. If death occurs suddenly, the person's body is also urgently removed from the town and buried in a warmer climate. The fact is that the main predators in this area are polar bears, so the remains of any living beings, whether humans or, for example, cats, immediately attract their attention. For this reason, residents of LONGYEARBYEN are prohibited from keeping cats. Moreover, when going outside the city, a person must legally carry a rifle for protection against bears. Despite this, LONGYEARBYEN functions like any regular town. It has shops, restaurants, schools, hospitals, and all the necessary facilities for people's lives. MONOWI, USA. Imagine an entire town with only one resident. Such a place is MONOWI, located in the central part of the United States. 80-year-old Elsie Eiler is the town's only inhabitant. She is its mayor, treasurer, librarian, and even bartender in the only working cafe. Elsie manages all the affairs of the town, from paying taxes to seeking state funding to maintain the utilities. And although MONOWI is officially considered a town, it is essentially more like a small village that once housed nearly 200 people. It had a post office, a school, and several businesses. However, young residents often moved to busier places in search of a better life. By the early 2000s, only Elsie and her husband Rudy remained in MONOWI. When he passed away in 2004, Elsie became the town's sole resident. Despite being the only local resident, Elsie continues to work in the local cafe, which is popular among curious tourists. She also maintains the library named after her late husband. The library has several thousand books and is open to anyone who wishes to visit. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you won't miss new uploads. Leave your comments. Your opinion is very important to us. See you in the next videos.